What's up, gamers and geeks? And thanks for joining us for another episode. And in today's segment, we will talk about
retro and current video games that shaped us. Stay tuned.
All right, buddy, let's do it. On our last segment today, we're going to talk about the retro to current video games that we think shaped us. I know that there's so many that it would be impossible to cover in even 5 segments if you think about it.
All right.
But I am your host, Matt.
And I'm Rick.
And that's what we're going to talk about. But Rick, I'm going to let you kick this one off with probably your number one retro game of all time. I'm not going to say it started you on the video game path, but you have a number one retro game.
Well, obviously, when I first started video games, not counting the Atari and stuff like that, which we could go back to, but it was going to the arcade, going to putting your, was it quarters?
It was quarters.
It's still quarters.
Hell yeah.
Putting quarters in there. And my first love game was Donkey Kong. I mean, I spent hours. I got a long ways. When you didn't have the high score, you had to get the high score.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted it on that machine, even so bad that they would erase the high scores every now and then.
Yeah.
And it'd piss you off because you put hours of hours of time.
I was never mature enough to put my initials. I always had to put stupid ones like TIT.
Yeah, it was always
ASS.
It was always 3 letters. Yeah.
Yeah. We were mature.
But I mean, you had to go through, jump over the barrels, and you had to climb all the ladders, and there was, and I just remember being able to go pretty high scores on that.
Yeah.
I mean, when you spend hundreds of hours on a video game, and all your hard-earned money.
Well, even at that age, it wasn't our money that we earned. Let's be realistic. I mean, did you ever find yourself like digging through couches just because you know that older people were sitting on them and the change would be down
it's
the
like
cushions, you'd find quarters and run to the arcade? I did.
Looking down every sewer, checking the payphones, which they don't even have payphones nowadays.
Those things are like, people like, wait, what? What? People listen, what?
Or doing a Willy Wonka, looking in all the sewer grates and seeing if there's any nickels down there.
I mean, still, you would find any silver you could. If you found like anything, like if you found nickels and dimes, you'd run it in and say, okay, I need quarters for these, and.
But most of it was your lunch money.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah.
Who needs a lunch?
No, you starved that day because you were pouring money into Mario, running up those ramps and climbing those ladders and jumping the barrels, only for that damn ape to grab her and run off every time. It was like, what is it with her? It's like, sorry, Mario, but the princess is in another castle. What is it with that chick that you just can't get her?
And that's the whole thing, because...
You know what? Peachy has been hard to get this whole time. I'm serious.
I mean, is it the same princess? I was going to mention Mario, and just the regular Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, yeah, on like the Nintendo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we spent a lot of time on Nintendo, because that was one of them.
And that was a breakthrough in like the mid-80s.
And they're always chasing after this princesses. I mean, what's the deal with that?
I feel like she's not worth it. I think she's high maintenance. She's got to be chased. If you got to work for it, it's not worth it.
That's working pretty hard.
It really is. You got an ape that's trying to kill you. He's trying to run you over in Mario Kart. I mean, not to mention everyone else. So yeah, I liked what Bali Midway did. My first impression of video games was the original Pac-Man. I don't know, I suffered from that horrible song Pac-Man Fever, though. I suffered from that. I loved Pac-Man. It was massive. The Atari came out with it, and I'm like, what in the hell is this shit? It was terrible. You compare it to the arcade version, I loved it. And then this Pac-Man came out, and I thought I liked it a little more.
Oh.
It was a little cleaner. It was just, you had the same ghosts, Inky, Blinky, Speedy, and Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Speedy, I think. Don't quote me on that.
Oh.
I don't know. It was just a good game, and then other games like Space Invaders came along.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you remember that one?
Yes.
Oh, that was such a good game. And then like Mandy still loves it to this day. We'll buy those arcade retro classics on Xbox. She plays Centipede constantly.
Galaga.
Ooh, Galaga. Do you remember like Joust?
Uh-huh.
That's just some great games, man. I mean, and that was like the original. And then it even had a football game that you'd play. It was just this like table-looking thing with this ball sticking out, and it was X's and O's, and you had to sit there and constantly hit it to remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, if you have to work playing a video game, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of those sports ones that I used to play.
Well, you remember the little handheld Coleco thing?
Yes. It's a little dot that you had to...
And they even had the head-to-head, remember? They had one where one
don't
guy was
remember
holding one side and the other guy was holding the
I
other.
don't remember that, but
There were fistfights over that thing. Well, that's just as we were mature.
yeah.
You remember Frogger?
Yes.
Those are good games.
Well, good till you're getting run over by cars.
No one likes a frog getting smucked. But
And so, it starts out slow, and then suddenly the cars are whizzing by like it,
yeah, it's like, okay, so now I'm in Mac, and then all of a sudden I'm in LA with the traffic,
And would have enjoyed a cop at that point to slow that traffic down.
Yeah. Well, and then bumper to bumper. Talk about like tail ending people, man.
You're sitting your way.
So Frogger was really about road rage. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, and they all want to swerve and hit the stupid frog.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. And then it wasn't bad enough that after you got past the highway, you had to go over the river.
Or you get on the log and the log disappears.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, that was good. And then the Atari came out with one that was meant to not beat, called Pitfall. Remember that?
No.
You're just this little guy, and you got to jump over the scorpion, you got to jump on the crocodile's heads to cross the pond. It was meant not to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the Atari 2600. So we didn't get to like the Christmas of '82. And yeah, it was, But those are the early shades of video games, man.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Now when you were a kid and you played them, and you're a little older, but you're not much older. So when you were playing them, like, when these first video games, did you stick with it, or did you leave video games for a while and then jump back into it, or how'd it work?
Well, I remember renting games.
Okay.
So they had the little cartridges, that you had to blow on and stick them in the machine.
And are you talking like Nintendo at this time?
No, I think it was, yeah, maybe it was.
Because I'm not sure. I don't think Atari had rentals back in the day. I don't think they did rentals. I don't think there was any kind of rentals.
It was a Blockbuster, and then there was some places.
I'm thinking it's Nintendo, though.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, there was a lot of these games, and a lot of them were. I remember. I'll be honest with you. I remember when I hit my 18, 19, 20-year-olds when I was on my own. And then you didn't buy the games, but you rent them, and like you do these ones that were like Legend of Zelda. This is before Legend of Zelda.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I remember they took a lot of time, but you only had so much time because they're rented.
Yeah.
And so I remember being in these worlds, these ones where you had to go through all these stages, and then if you died, you had to start way over, like, because you couldn't save.
And it's so frustrating, yeah.
And so you die and you have to do that whole level all over again, and then you get a little further and die. And it's so frustrating, but it was. But we enjoyed it.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, there were so many good Nintendo games too. It wasn't just like The Legend of Zelda. Like, it was smaller ones. Like, I loved this game called Choplifter.
Oh yeah.
And Excite Bike. Those were some really good games.
Oh, I'd love to Excite Bike.
Wasn't that great? And even their football game was pretty fun. You remember one called 10-Yard Fight?
Vaguely.
Yeah, it was so good. But Excite Bike was always, I think, my favorite Nintendo game.
Because it was just so much technique, and you were going over the jumps.
And it was timing, and okay, how far do you want to hold this jump? And yeah, it's pretty fun. And they even brought a arcade classic to the Nintendo called Pole Position.
I remember Pole Position.
That was fun. And then they brought a game called Spy Hunter there too, and it was just like you drove this car. It was a top view of like a Porsche, and you could do oil slicks and smoke screens, and then in order to escape, you had to drive into this semi trailer. And
I remember a few years ago, I don't know if we gave it to the grandkids or my brother or something like that. It was an old Nintendo system that had cartridge that had like all the old games on it.
Okay,
and that was pretty recent. But I mean, Nintendo was the greatest. I remember a lot of those Nintendo games. Like, my mind's not fresh. Like I said, I remember Legend of Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
also
can tell
remember,
me the game, and maybe I can bring it to me.
yeah, I don't remember. I also remember when I started playing a lot of the Maddens
Yeah,
because I loved Madden.
same here. But see, to me on the Nintendo, it wasn't Madden yet; it was Tecmo Bowl.
Oh, Tecmo Bowl, yeah. Oh gosh, that
Ready, down, hoot, 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 hoot. You could just keep hitting the hut, hut button over and over, and you win. This is great. And then you have like some little guy like Steve Largent burning Daryl Green deep.
gosh.
It's so good.
Oh, you are bringing the memories. See, my brain doesn't work as good as
Oh,
yours too.
yeah, it was so
Yeah.
good. Oh my god! And then they came out with the next one, which was even better, Techno Super Bowl, which came out in 1991, based on the '91 season.
Oh my god.
And you had Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen, and there was only two people in that game that could catch those guys from behind at that time. It was Dion and Rod Woodson. I mean, like, those are the only times I were able to ever catch anybody from behind is when I used Dion or Rod Woodson. That was it. Those are the only guys that could catch Bo Jackson.
And Dion, a controversial take, overrated.
Oh, pure
Yeah.
cover. I mean, you want a corner that can do it all, bro. I mean,
Champ Bailey.
Champ Bailey is top 5 in my opinion. Like if I'm grading all around, and I know we're jumping, but we'll get right back. If I'm grading all around corners, I would say, in my opinion, I've got Rod, I've got Champ, I've got Charles, and then I've got a guy named Dale Carter and James Hasty.
Yeah. But I mean, going kind of by this, like I remember in NBA 2K and I remember in Madden. Did you ever create your character?
Oh yeah.
And like on NBA, I remember having a center that was the maximum height,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
maximum weight with all agility. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
99
You could just max out like Josh.
and he was
I'll say
unstoppable.
it first name, but Josh did that. He created this 7'7" or 7'4" tall center, had rainbow hair, and we named him Bob Buff. He'll tell you all about
Yeah.
it.
They could shoot threes.
Oh, they could do
I mean,
everything.
I mean, they made Joker look like nothing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and that's as we get on a little farther with like the original Xbox and whatnot. Yeah. And it was when I got the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, I was playing a lot of Final Fantasies,
Yes.
and then Madden came out, and that was it. It started to take over. The last Tecmo Bowl was on the Super Nintendo, and then Madden came out, like Madden '96, and it just completely I mean, once Madden started hitting the consoles, Tecmo was done.
Yeah.
I mean, Madden now is just basically copy and paste. It's not as, but yeah, those were great games.
I mean, that's why we're calling them retro. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these games were definitely a blast.
Well,
at
and
the
they
time.
opened the doors for all those. Like I brought you, and you agreed when you heard me talking about the Final Fantasies.
Oh, I love Final Fantasy.
I mean, those games opened the doors for the modern day Skyrims and Dragon Ages and beyond.
And I didn't even mention them when we talked about how long we've been in Worlds, but I mean, Final Fantasy, the original,
Yes.
and then Final Fantasy 2 and 3,
Yes.
and playing with Cloud, and I mean,
And then even then, you had on your controller, you could push these cartridges in your controller for save files. Like I remember the PlayStation being the first one to really do that, but I think the Nintendo 64 did. That was my first deep Madden experience. Was the Nintendo 64, playing Madden '97, and then unfortunately we bought Mario Kart, and I won't go into detail, but my ex Danielle, we were not abusive people, but my arm was sore. I would get hit because, like, how, remember Mario Kart, you could grab that fake diamond that's explosive? You know how you could hold on to it and not release whatever it was you picked up? Like, you go into those diamonds and pick up the new thing, a shell, green shell, red shell. If you're the very last, you got the blue shell that knocks out the leader.
yeah,
I got the fake diamond that explodes, and every time I go to a new group of diamonds, I would time it and drop that diamond right off into the group of real diamonds. And she hit that and would wreck and beat my arm. It's good times. I mean, you think that sounds brutal, but it was fun times.
right.
But Mandy, on the current consoles now, it's some of the funnest video gaming I've ever done is with Mandy, like with the 7 Days to Die. But yeah, like I didn't really start co-oping until like the Nintendo 64. That was my first real, other than Double Dragon in the arcades. Do you remember that game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my first co-op arcade experience with my cousin Sebastian. But like,
Castlevania.
oh god! And then they brought it to Nintendo. It was such a beautiful game, even for the graphics back then. Do you remember looking at those graphics, thinking to yourself, "Man, it's never going to be this good."
And Castlevania started out at the arcade also.
Yes, yes.
You know? And what was that one fantasy one that you'd have the four? There was 4 different places you could play in the arcade.
Oh,
And then you had to keep bumping the quarters in.
You mean you had 4 people playing at once?
You could have
That
4
was
of them.
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet, yeah.
Oh my god! And I can tell you the characters. You had Merlin the Wizard. You had Questor the Elf. You had Thyra the Valkyrie, or you had Thor the Warrior. Those were your 4. And I always took the Wizard. And then you're sitting there listening, and then that voice would stress you out. Like if I'm Merlin, you would hear, "The wizard is about to die," and you're like, "No!" It stresses you out.
It was such a money suck.
But
You get a good part, but then bloop, 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 start timing you out.
Hey, and they knew what they were doing, didn't
You're
they?
like, could I fish this coin out in 30 seconds? It's like,
And then, and you remember how it was. If you wanted to play a video game and people were on it, you'd wait your turn, but then you'd look up and had quarters laying all across the bottom of the screen. You were not getting near there, dude.
that used to happen a lot with Donkey Kong, if you didn't get the machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it was best not to hit arcades. Like, I would always go to hit up these 7-Elevens. I lived nearby because they always had arcade games.
Oh, I thought you were hitting them up for money.
Oh, that too. I mean, money for the poor, I mean,
I need some arcade money.
I don't think my water gun would have been very convincing.
That's what she said.
Oh, ouch. And the ref takes a point away. But, yeah, the arcade experience is what started it all. And even now, I still get giddy. Like, the recent Video Game Awards, the 2025 awards, me and Mandy watched it from start to finish on December 11th,
Just
a couple of days ago. They announced Fate of the Old Republic, a new Star Wars game that is not a sequel, and it's not even really, it's just a spiritual successor to the first Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2.
I bet you love that.
Oh, no, this is one of the games we've been waiting on for a long time. Now, the other 2 are supposed to be in remastered right now, and I think they're going to release those before this releases to kind of give us that. But this is a game you need to play. When it comes out, you need to play it. You want to talk about a deep dive into a galaxy of planets where you become a Jedi and you level them up. And I mean, it's a deep RPG role-playing that you'll ultimately have the decision to go light or dark side. So yeah, but yeah, that's where we're at now. But it's those games back in the day that, like you said, you and me both, we spent a lot of time. Like, I remember playing the first 3 Final Fantasies on the Super Nintendo.
Right.
And I mean, hours would go by. I mean, I remember playing that with friends, and we didn't have to work the next day. So we're sitting, and I'm in my early 20s and I'm playing, but I always had these blankets over my windows because I didn't want to know if the day was coming or not, because I was weird. And then I hear birds chirping. We were playing at night and I hear birds chirping, and I removed the blanket. And it only felt like 2 hours. I removed the blanket and outside the sun is shining. I'm like, yeah, we got to crash.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what I really like is about the newer age video games.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you sit down and watch TV. And let's say I'll use Supernatural for example.
Uh-huh.
So I love Supernatural. You'll
Me
sit
too.
there and you watch an episode, you watch another episode, or Friends or Big Bang Theory or any of the ones we like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm playing Witcher 3 now, and you do a quest. And it's like a story in itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like watching the Witcher 3 series. But each time you do a quest, it's another episode.
Yes.
Another episode,
Yes.
and then another episode. And you're playing a part in it. Even though you're not, you're playing the game, but you're playing.
Yeah, you're playing Geralt, but yeah.
But I mean, it's just it's just like watching a TV program or engulfing yourself into a world.
When Mandy used to watch heavily certain video games, and if she gets sucked into it, she'll watch it. But like, she watched a lot of the Assassin's Creeds that I played because of the narrative story.
Mm-hmm.
And we played the Ezio trilogy, which is Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revolution. And at the end of Revolution, to close out Ezio's trilogy, we both had tears in our eyes because It closes out Ezio coming to, and he finds Altair, the very first assassin from the first game, but it's his skeletal remains holding the piece of Eden, and he died making sure that this piece was protected. And the way Ezio talks to his successor, or the predecessor, whatever, the one before him, he grabs a piece of Eden, and you literally have tears in your eyes the way they closed out that. Is such an epic story. Some of these video games are so well written. She said the same thing about the Mass Effect trilogy, and you'll see. This game, you got to make decisions. Decisions you make in the first one are going to have an impact all the way into the third one.
That's cool. I like that.
Yes, and they are going to be serious impacts, so be ready.
Yeah.
And then, like, that game had her in tears because, spoiler alert, there's a character in there that everyone really loves, and depending on what you choose, he passes away in such an honorable but sad way.
Oh, spoiler.
I won't say who.
He dies.
Yeah, he did. But yeah, so if you try the Mass Effect trilogy, you won't be disappointed.
Yeah. So what's your number one favorite retro game?
My number one favorite retro game ever, are we talking back in the day?
Anything.
That's tough, man.
I mean, Knights of the Old Republic is probably, I wouldn't call that retro.
No, because that's 03.
Yeah.
So I need to go back. You want we'll count this as before we're 21. How's that? Deal?
Okay. Yeah.
Does that sound good? If I had to choose it, I would choose. I don't know. Do you have one? Yours is Donkey
We're going
Kong,
back
right?
down. Yeah, probably Donkey Kong.
Okay. I would probably say a game I didn't really mention, but I think that I had such a guilty pleasure putting so many coins into was called Tempest. You remember that?
I remember Tempest.
Yeah, I think that one was. It was just such a weird. I would either say it's a tie with Tempest or Miss Pac-Man. Those.
Okay.
Yep. So much so that I had to buy the retro arcade version of Miss Pac-Man on my Xbox.
So have you ever? Yeah, I know you go to Denver.
Mm-hmm.
You ever go to One Up there?
I've heard about it. My friend B-Ray tells me about it.
Oh yeah. So it's adult, and so it's all these old arcade games and pinball machines, and there's no pool tables, I don't believe.
Okay.
But it just has all these games, Centipede and a lot of the old.
Do you
ones.
remember Qbert?
Oh gosh, yes.
And even another fun one. Do you remember Paperboy?
Yes. Paperboy from the arcade, Qbert, we had the game.
Yes, such good games.
In hindsight, it's so miserable. You enjoyed playing it, but thinking back, it's like, how did I enjoy playing that?
I know.
It's like,
but I even enjoyed Paperboy.
For those that don't know, Qbert, little alien dude that jumps and changes color
on these different hexagrams.
So you have to make it change to the color that is assigned.
It's
and
creative.
Every time he jumps on it, it changes color until you get it all.
I can't even believe I remember.
And then sometimes you have balls and stuff that are coming and trying to hit him and knock him off and stuff like that. Fun and challenging, but kind of irritating. Because it didn't have irritating music on it, did it?
Oh, yeah. That was annoying.
That's what used to annoy my wife. Like whenever we'd play Madden. When we play Madden, and it was always the same songs just playing over and over. And she'd be yelling because we used to play in the basement. She'd, can you guys lower the volume on that? Because it was just so.
I haven't played Madden in a while because Madden is the reason I have high blood pressure. I'm not even kidding. Because of Madden, I'm on Lisinopril. All right, well, we did our normal time, brother.
All right, that was fun. I know we missed a lot of games.
We did, but we can always go back over. If there's any retro games we missed, please feel free to leave them in the comments section and let us know, man. We want to hear from you, definitely. Please like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. But all right, brother, that's all I have. You?
That's all I had.
All right, well, as you know, I am outro.
Me too.